So you guys, if you're new to my page, let me introduce myself. I'm Julie Samako with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I'm also a business coach and creative entrepreneur through my I'm also a business coach to creative entrepreneurs through my Success Circle membership group. I wanted to go through in this video and give you some tips when you go shopping for your Christmas items. Okay, so for the items that you're going to be putting in your Christmas wreath, some things to be considering. I just came back from a huge haul from a wholesaler, and I got a lot of stuff, but I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about some of the things when you go shopping, what you can consider. This comes from years of experience of making and selling wreaths. If you want to learn more about making wreaths, mastering the art of wreath making, saving money, because girl, you know you can do it yourself. If you need help or you want to learn how to master that, join us in our Wreath Making of the Month Club. I'll put the link in here if you want more information. Right there. If you want to look for more information, you can click that link, but I wanted to go through just some tips. All right, I don't know why I'm fluffing this because I'm not making anything. I'm just giving you some shopping tips, girlfriend. All right, so here we have an evergreen wreath base. And here we have an evergreen wreath base. So these are what they call PVC wreath bases or wreaths in the industry. I wanted to show you the difference between these two, all right, and see if you can tell me. Number one, I'll see if I can zoom in just a little bit. So number one, they're different. This one is all of the same needles, all right, same needles. There are, it doesn't say how many needles there are on here, but they're all of the same needles. It's a 24-inch. This too is a 24-inch, but there's different needles. So this one's got 3 different pines. We've got the short needle, we've got the long needle, and then we've got even we've got the needle with the blunt tip, we've got a needle with the pointed tip, and we've got this frosted or a little variegated, I don't even know what you call that, some other type of pine. So we've got a lot of pine going on here. So this one is going to be a little bit more pricier, which is okay, than say this one, which is all of the same. So I like to use this style right here, and fill it up. So when I fill this wreath up, it's okay because this is just what I call a work wreath. It's just plain Jane. It's a work wreath. It's okay. It's a little less expensive, but that's okay because I'm going to fill it up with stuff. Now, when I spend a little bit more money on, say, something like this one, I like to let some of the greenery show because you're paying for this extra greenery, aren't you? So it makes sense to let it show just a little bit in your designs. So there's the one differences between these two wreaths right here. But the other difference is, do you see how flat this one is? And then you have this one that's a little thicker. So they have these wreaths that are on the, let me show you the back. This one has just got one ring around the back and it's flat, which makes really good wreaths if you're looking for something to go in between the screen door wreath. You could start with something like this because it's only like 2 inches thick. But just know that when you fluff it, it's going to be smashed again. But again, I love them for work wreaths. These wreaths, when they only have the one metal frame on the back, they're easy to bend if you need to make like a, say, slightly oval wreath. But they also have these really pretty wreaths that, or this wreath that is elevated wreath. So this has this is 2 metal frames on the inside right there. This is the back of the wreath. They've got the larger and the smaller. The smaller wreath is what they call, the smaller inner ring is what they call elevated. So it pops out the center just a little bit on the front side, and it makes the wreath thicker. So just wanted to draw your attention. So when you're out shopping for your evergreen wreaths to make some pretty things with, make sure you pay attention to the back. You also pay attention to what are you going to be making and designing with it, how much is it going to cover up, you know, things like that. There's no need to buy a really expensive wreath if you're going to take a lot of time and put mesh and ribbon and flowers and signs and just cover it up, all right? Okay, so the other thing, hi Julie from South Carolina. I'm in South Carolina and my name is Julie. We've got a lot in common. All right, so the other thing I want to draw your attention to when you're buying supplies for your wreaths, let me see where I can put these, is to think outside the box. So they have wreaths that are straw, that are moss covered, or straw based, or even styrofoam. Yes, you can make amazing, beautiful wreaths with all of the different wreath bases. So kind of keep that in mind when you're shopping for wreath making materials with your Christmas wreaths. I like this one. It's got a metal frame on the inside of it that I just felt and I didn't know. Grapevine wreaths are not just for spring wreaths and they're not just for fall wreaths. Grapevine wreaths make a beautiful wreath for Christmas. So just keep your options open when you're shopping. They have all these different sizes. They've got 16 and 18 inch are my faves, but they go out to 24 inch. Also, oval grapevine wreaths are really popular, and I personally favor that over a circle wreath. I don't know why. I just think an oval wreath looks so much more pleasing to the eye on the door, but that's my personal taste. But don't forget to use, you can use a grapevine wreath when you're making your Christmas wreaths. Yay. All right, let me know if y'all have any questions. Also, they have flocked. I didn't bring any other flocked wreaths. This is a teardrop. So when you're making your Christmas items, don't forget you can use teardrop swags. This one's a 24 inch, but they make 30 inches, 36 inches. And you're always going to want to fluff it. You know, we talk about that all the time when we're making and designing here on the page. Take the time, no matter what you buy. No matter if it's this, you know, teardrop or if it's this pick, you're going to take the time and you're going to shape it, touch every little piece, bend it, you know, make it look more natural. When you take the time to do things like that, I mean, look, do you see the difference? Let's see if I have one. You see the difference right there. Take the time, you guys. I promise it will pay off. But they have these flocked wreaths, they have wreaths, and they have teardrop swags. So you can have fun. Don't think that it always has to be a wreath on your door. You can do these fun different, you know, swags. And I'm not even going to take the time to fluff all this. Because I'm going to store it and put it right back and it'll get fluffed in just a minute. But these are what we call flocked. So flocked means it's just a white, powdery, I don't know what it's called. It just looks like snow. Basically fake snow on your evergreen. And that's what they call flocked. So they've got some that are heavily flocked, and then they've got some that are light flocked. And these are just a little bit lighter, which I like because they don't shed so much. And just know, though, that the flocked pieces do better on the inside than the outside, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily be putting a flocked wreath outside unless it was covered, and I'd be okay with it being ruined that 1 year. A lot of times we spend a lot of money on things and we want them to last more than 1 year. So just FYI, I wouldn't be putting flocked wreath outside. All right, so here is the teardrop swag, but look, just see how much cuter it looks when you take the time to fluff. All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, so those were like the wreaths when you're going shopping, and thinking outside the box, and don't think as like people would look at this and think this is for something for spring, and it's not. It's all year round. This is not for spring. It's all year round. When you're looking for your greenery to fill in with your Christmas wreaths, think outside the box, all right? So this is a really pretty bush that I like to use. It's plastic. I love plastic, y'all. I love plastic. Plastic holds up outside and it doesn't fade. But think out, you know, this would look how pretty stems this would look right here inside this flocked piece. This is just a greenery bush that typically you would look and think it would be spring, but no, not necessarily. You can use it for Christmas and winter. Other things I want to draw to your attention are to use picks that are pre-done for you. Sometimes you'll go shopping and you'll find picks that have all of the pieces already added, and if you are a beginner, these make amazing wreaths, okay? So you could just take this whole pick right here after you shape it and fluff it. You know what? I've got to go get my dog. I think somebody let him out and forgot to bring him in. Hold on. Oh no, he's right here. He's right here. It's Jasper. Y'all know Jasper. He's kind of a star on this page. He's usually right here looking at me, waiting for me, and when I looked down he wasn't there, I just assumed he was outside, but he's over there in his little doggy bed. But remember, after you take the time to fluff it, you can add these directly in your pieces, and they are just a couple of those and you're decorated. And a bow, how simple. So look for things like that that are already have done half the work for you. All right, the other thing I want to draw to your attention is when you're thinking outside of the box, to use hydrangeas, you can use dahlias, you can use pretty much a lot of flowers that you would use in the springtime can be transitioned into your winter pieces or your Christmas pieces. So peonies are another good one. I'm looking over here, dahlias are another good one. You know, don't be hesitant to use spring flowers in your Christmas wreaths when you're making them. Another way to just take this up to another notch is you can get that that glitter spray, that glitter dust. It's called diamond dust or something like that. Just give it a little spray on top of it and it will give a little glitter shine. Nobody's going to be the wiser to know that you bought this in the spring. You know what I mean? So you can take items that you already have and think a little bit differently. How can you incorporate them into your Christmas trees? How can you incorporate them into your wreaths? I think that's it. The other thing too is when you're shopping for ribbon, so this ribbon, people might look at this and think that it would be good for summer, but it will also be good for Christmas. So I can use this one roll of ribbon for Christmas. I can use this one roll of ribbon for Valentine's Day and for summer. I mean, doesn't this just remind you of a summer picnic? I just love this. This ribbon is so versatile. So when you're shopping around and picking out your supplies for your Christmas items, think of things like this. How can I incorporate this in other items? I can use this in, you know, multiple seasons and holidays. Another thing, multiple seasons and holidays. And there's even ornaments and stuff like that. You can use red ornaments, multiple seasons and holidays, white. You know, just keep in mind when you're shopping that sometimes if you think long term, you can use them. You can use them more than just Christmas. All right, you guys. I hope that helps you. Susan says you can use roses. Yes, ma'am. Terry says she just used pink dahlias and cream-colored roses and a fall arrangement. Oh, that is so hot right now. That is so hot. Such a hot trend, Terry. Let's see. Any other quick questions? Can we see Jasper? Jasper, you want to come here? Let's see if I can get him over here. Jasper? Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's right here. I told you, he's like my shadow. He is like my shadow. Smile, baby. Mama's going to make you a superstar. Smile. This is my little Jasper. He is my shadow. He follows me everywhere, and that's why when I looked down and he wasn't there, I assumed somebody let him out and forgot to bring him back in. So that's my little Jasper. Thank you for sharing. And you guys, if you enjoy tips like this, just let me know. I do appreciate it. I want your feedback. I want to know if you appreciate me sharing little tips like this. Also, if you take the time to share it, it helps spread the word about my little, wreath business that I do run from my garage, out of my home. I am self-taught, but I am more than happy to teach you everything that I know. I am really known for some simple yet stunning designs, and I am able to teach you exactly how I make all of my items. If you want to take your wreath making up a notch, join me in our Wreath Making of the Month Club. I've got the link on here, and we'd be glad to have you in our wonderful community of men and women who are so supportive and so helpful, sharing ideas, where they get ribbon, what would look better, choosing color. I'm also dropping in Christmas trends. So what does that mean? I'm giving them ideas for trends that are very popular through the Christmas, which are good tips if you're selling wreaths online. If you're selling your floral designs online, sometimes we need a little help about what's trending, what's worked in the past, and why I choose certain colors. All right, you guys, because I've got this big haul of stuff for Christmas, and I'm like, I was going to put it away, and I thought, you know what? Let me just talk about shopping tips, because I know some of you are like, why is she talking about Christmas? Why? It is still 105 degrees outside. But I'm telling you, and before you know it, it's going to be New Year's. So now is the time to start thinking about and planning your Christmas shopping for making your pretty wreaths. And your family and friends are just going to be amazed at some of the designs you make. And we're going to be teaching you how to make some of those here live on my Facebook page. But if you want to take it up a notch and you just want to do the ×10 method, join us in our Wreath Making of the Month Club. All right, you guys, I'll let you guys go. And what's behind you, is that a fall one? Miss Emma asked. Yes, Emma, this is actually one of our wreaths that we learned this month in our Wreath Making of the Month Club. Didn't that turn out adorable with the fall? Y'all, this truck is so hot. It's so hot that this truck became popular last year at Christmas time. Maybe even a little bit before that, the year before. But last year just like blew up Pinterest and became so trendy. And now it's good for everything. They've got that truck good for fall. They're going to have it for Valentine's Day. They're going to have little shamrocks coming out of it. All year round, that truck is going to be trending. Just wait. Another thing that I mentioned in my Wreath of the Month Club about trends. That's trending right there. All right, you guys. I hope y'all have a blessed night. And again, if you're new, make sure after the video to click that subscribe so you'll be notified when I go live again. Share the video so you can have it on your Facebook page. You'll be able to find it, or your Facebook profile, you'll be able to find it. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to me over there so you'll be notified when I upload videos there on YouTube. You guys have a blessed afternoon.